Visión comunal, en contacto con las comunidades.
Venezuela in the news. News from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Headlines. Nicolás Maduro denounces the U.S. leaders for coup attempts. Venezuelan parliamentary group reiterates the call to maintain peace. Venezuela and Iran sign productive economic agreements. The Venezuelan president Nicolás Maduro denounced that the opposition leaders, together with the U.S. government, aim to generate a coup d'etat to plague Venezuela with violence. The call was produced a few hours before the opposition goes out to the streets to overthrow the president. Maduro explained, quote, "The Venezuelan opposition has decided to break the rules of the game." The president called on the population to prevent the return of political violence in Venezuela. The Venezuelan extreme right scheduled a march for Thursday, September 1st, in which opposition activists have expressed from Miami that the possibility of dead and wounded starting that day is not discarded. The security bodies have ratified that they will deploy to guarantee peace in the country. On 2014, a similar call to the people was made by the opposition leaders, causing the death of 43 people and seriously wounded other 800. Minister of Foreign Affairs Delcy Rodriguez explained that Venezuela assumes as a member with full rights the pro-tempore presidency of the Southern Common Market, according to the constituent regulations of the international organization. A note issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs specified that Uruguay was the predecessor country of that direction of the temporal presidency. The Venezuelan nation entered the regional bloc 4 years ago as a member of the Mercosur. In this time, it has complied with the required legal documentation that allow its regular membership. Rodriguez highlighted in regards to the management of human rights the commitment maintained by the Venezuelan government to not submit to judgments or external considerations in the implementation and respect of its constitution. The head of the Homeland Bloc before the National Assembly, Deputy Jorge Rodriguez, manifested yesterday that in Venezuela the opposition leaders disconnected themselves from the people in their obsession for power. The parliament member expressed that the Venezuelan right wing boosts social confrontation in the country and has turned the parliament into a simple space for internal disputes. Rodriguez highlighted that the majority of the people hopes that the opposition and government reach a dialogue to overcome the economic difficulties and prevent violence to impose itself as a political tool. In previous events, the Venezuelan opposition leaders triggered violent actions during the year 2014, leaving 43 people dead.
Venezuela in the news.
With interfering experiences that affect the process of sovereignty boosted by the Venezuelan government, the opposition leaders aim to insist in the recall referendum against President Nicolás Maduro. Former Minister of Defense and investigator José Vicente Rangel made this statement highlighting the call to maintain peace in the country. Rangel highlighted that for this week, the Democratic Unity Opposition Coalition MUD has called the people to march in Caracas without specifying the starting points that could be carried out in peace or with violence as demonstrated in other political moments of the nation. Rangel also addressed the urge for dialogue, publicly called for by the head of state and approved by 80% of the Venezuelan population. The head of the Venezuelan state, Nicolás Maduro, in a meeting with Iran's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mohammad Javad Zarif, informed that entrepreneurs from Iran will be incorporated to the development of 15 productive motors of the Bolivarian economic agenda. The financial cooperation agreements signed between both countries include a communiqué between the Venezuelan Central Bank and the Central Bank of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Both nations also hold agreements in the agri-food, pharmaceutical, and industrial areas, which are part of some of the vertexes of the Great Mission of Sovereign Supply. President Nicolás Maduro assured investments related to technological industrial development to join the new phase of Venezuela's economic recovery.
News from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Headline: Nicolás Maduro denounces the U.S. leaders for coup attempts. Venezuelan parliamentary group reiterates the call to maintain peace. Venezuela and Iran sign productive economic agreements.
Venezuela in the news. News from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Visión comunal, en contacto con las comunidades.